Hello, I'm Blackberry and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm comparing and contrasting emo and scene culture while also doing a drawing of them as well. I thought it would be a fun idea, and also the fact that I kind of dress emo-ish. So sit back, grab some berries, and enjoy. I wanted to do 2 videos this week, but I got lazy and I also was busy with school. So sadly, the Andrea video that I planned on doing about growth and influence, being an influencer, is not coming out. And also I didn't keep this green color because it didn't go well with the purple. I should have, but I didn't. Okay, on to the video. I thought it would be a fun / cool idea to talk about emo and scene fashion, music, and the history behind it. First, I'll be discussing emo fashion. Even though they both go hand in hand with another, I think I'll just split them up. I think that would work best. I'll also be paraphrasing from a couple of articles that I will be linking down in the description of where I got this information from. You can fact check me if you want to. It's up to you. Alright, let's get started. First, where did emo culture originate from? Emo tunes, often known as emo core nowadays, is a punk rock subgenre that first appeared in Washington, D.C. in the middle of the 1980s. Guy, I can't really pronounce his name, so I'll put it on the screen, and his band Rites of Spring started the subgenre when they depart from the emo scene that occasionally prefer attitude over substance. The central of the music and lyrics on the personal pain of suffering. Guy, I still can't pronounce his name, would later become a founding member of the influencing hardcore band Psco, I think that's how you say it. In the 1980s, punk rock fans used the term emo-core or hardcore emotional to describe the introspective style of singing. Emo songs lyrics frequently exhibit self-pity, focus on story loss or loss of relationships. The narrative in teenage admiring of emo songs found it to be quite appealing. With time, the term emo expanded to radio-friendly punk rock acts like Weaslers, Jimmy Eats World, Get Up Kids, Save the Day, and Fall Out Boys, whose music had a little in common with hardcore movement in Washington, D.C. Emo lost its connection to the particular song, and the band with Death Cab for Cutie were forced to deal with the label growing negative connotations. Like punk, before emo had eventually used to describe style of dress or materialistic that had little to do with the music that gave rise to the name. While we're on the topic of clothing, how does an emo person dress like? One of the most notable characteristics of emo clothing is how tight or usually very small the outfits are. Plaited stripes and checks, often used in both men and women's clothing. As funny as the sound from the article that I read from, it says boys will usually take their younger sister's black jeans, while teenagers will sometimes dress in clothing of a younger sibling. So it says in the article, majority of emos believe the tighter the clothes, the better it is. So typically they buy apparel meant for younger children in order to make it as tight as possible. Both men and women frequently use makeup, particularly mascara, to emphasize their look more blacker, I guess. Their emo attire. I don't really do that as someone who dresses as in emo fashion, I guess. Black hair is frequently dyed and cropped into an emo style, such as at least one eye or possibly both are visible. Barrettes are widely used by both boys and girls to clip back a section of their hair. Typically, these barrettes are designed for young toddlers. I'm so sorry that this comes off so stereotypical, but it's what came up in the article. Please forgive me. Alright, that's emo culture. We have discussed the bands, the music, where it originates from, the fashion that goes with it. Now it's time for scene culture. A scene child slash a scene kid is a member of a scene subculture in American musical and cultural movement that was popular amongst the youth from the early 2000s until the mid 2010s. The emo subculture was mostly widespread but had a similar trait to scene culture around the same period of time. Also with the 80s was the scene culture was primarily inspired by emo culture, as you can tell. The difference between emo and scene culture was scene kids were a part of a new popular trend that attracted millions, losing that rebellious spirit of emo, which was non-conforming and an underground movement. Scene was a official subculture in American from the early 20s and early 2010s. The term scene kids was widely used in popular media. Bands like Bring Me to the Horizon and Asking Andreas to Help make the trend popular during that time period. However, by the end of 2019, the big success from the time had almost entirely disappeared from youth culture. Now, what does a scene person typically wear? The outfits are usually contain of colorful clothing, skinny jeans, dyed and straightened hair, and often piercings, with colorful stripes as well as fun, I would say, stars and stuff attached to their body at times. With this, let's bring up some comparisons. In the drawing that you see that I'm doing today, you can see how they, in retrospect, look the same, with the dyed hair, the colorful or skinny jeans and stuff. I didn't add skinny jeans to the scene kid, obviously. I just didn't feel like it. But they both have somewhat of the same fashion sense. While scene kids are more, I would say, colorful, while emo kids are more typically in either dark colors, like maybe some dark blue, navy, stuff like that, dark red and black. They do have big similarities to them, which is why you can tell that you can really see that scene kids had but got inspired by emo culture and fashion. In conclusion, both have some similarities in terms of fashion, including with their clothing and hairstyles. However, they are vastly different in terms of their attitude, with one being rebellious and the other one being more focused on fashion and following trends. Despite the differences, they have cute styles and are very popular in different cultures and fashion. And also, it's not just labeled under one thing. The label for both of them, where they are mostly an umbrella term, is alternative fashion. When you hear that nowadays, you think of like e-girls and stuff like that. Technically, yes, they are part of a alternative fashion, but that doesn't mean that there are posers to like emo kids or scene kids or blah blah blah. Hear me out. Hear me out, okay? Let's just say, because the term e-girl or e-boy, I think is like internet boy or internet girl, which you can just bring to the conclusion of, well, yeah, that's exactly like emo kids and scene kids in a way, because they were like MySpace people. If you like look MySpace or like Tumblr, I think I wasn't a part of that time. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, okay? When it comes to music, they both, emo and sing, have the same, in most cases, similar taste to one another. They both go to more metal or heavy music that is emotionally based or very, I would say, sad or depressing, but that's not a bad thing if you listen to that music. I love the way this came out. The red, the purple. The only thing that I really regret about this drawing is that I took out the green. I should have kept it, but I decided not to, which makes me a bit sad. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you like, subscribe, comment down below to see what you want me to do in the future, and have a lovely day filled with dozens of berries.